to go out? No, they're not. But looking at his other two options, this base and this base. This base right here is dangerous because you have to wrap around to get your own units. Even if you break down that rock, it's still quite a trek, and it's a straight line to your opponent's base right here. They can react and attack that base extremely quickly. And jumping to this base, as you'll see with this base, look at that. I can see the back of his base already. The Terran is already in position to respond to this. There's a small wraparound, except it's still dangerous for the Zerg to kit that base. It's probably the next best base after the gold to go for. We'll see how mTwDIMAGA decides to move out from here. I'm just following these Mutalisks. I assume they're going to do something because they've been dancing up in here in this corner for a while. But looking at our Terran's base, turret there, turret here. It looks like there's a little bit of dead zone here where he might be able to do a little damage. And he's got two turrets at his expansion. He is turreted up, does not want to deal with any kind of Mutalisk harassment. Those Mutalisks can be a pain for Terrans to deal with because they move so fast. And here we go. Red ball moving out. Looks like he's going to right for that turret. Almost going to get it. Is he going to get the turret? Yes, the turret's going to go to Marines coming into position. The Marines are going to just force those Mutalisks to back up. Marines melt Mutalisks. And look at this. SeleCT says, I don't care if you don't like that turret there. I want a turret there, and I'm going to put one right back. Turret going down. Mutalisk still kind of just floating around, trying to poke away, trying to probably find some way to our Terran base to do some damage, hitting a couple shots, running into these Marines. He's got to get the Marines, I think, but there's 4 Marines in this bunker, so his Mutalisks are going down much faster than he would have liked to. Is he going to get the siege tank? No, he's not going for the siege tank. Bring up the units. He almost got the siege tank, but it wasn't enough. Look at these Marines already in position, ready to go. Going to hit this turret? No. Wisely backing up that turret would be too much. Turrets do horrible damage to Mutalisks. Terrible, terrible damage if you're the Mutalisks. Great damage if you're the Terran. Gold minerals finally starting to mine here, getting double gas. The late game Zerg generally has a gas-heavy army bringing up this units tab. He's still concentrating, adding on banelings now, so he has a Roach, Baneling, Mutalisk, Zling army, using pretty much every unit in the Zerg book. Bring up this army tab 115 to 106 in favor of our Zerg. APM tab, look at these two players, both in the 300s right now, averaging 180 and 225 respectively. Here we go, Mutalisk about to push in. Back up with the production now, Carapace on the way, adding on Infestors. Mutalisk just kind of dancing around outside. Looks like he's waiting for these 2 Mutalisks to show up. Here we go. HP tabs up. This barracks is being melted away slowly, but not going to be enough. There's too many Marines. And look, he's got the Marines out of position, so he's going to come up, sniping 2 SCVs. And what do we have here? Looks like barracks. He's making 5 barracks right now, going to be operating mostly Bioball units, getting an upgrade for his vehicle weapons, and sniping these SCVs. Look at this turret, just feeling silly, completely out of position. Mutalisk able to get away into this upper area where his units cannot reach. Thor already in position, but look at that Thor. He's just slowly, he thinks he's going to chase those Mutalisks down. Silly Thor, think about that a little harder. Here we go, going to get these Marines possibly? Yes, too many Mutalisks for the number of Marines, but there's 4 Marines in that bunker. I think, yep, forced to back up. Marines here, Thor here, man. mTwDIMAGA is making SeleCT run all of his units around in circles, and here we go. SeleCT knows it's too much to be chasing these Mutalisks around. He's throwing up this sensor tower, and look at this. The sensor tower will actually show if mTwDIMAGA gets this 4th expansion. He'll be aware. Jumping here, yes, 4th hatchery in his base next to his 2nd hatchery. We have an Overlord still in position. Overlord's pretty much in position to see if any of these bases are taken. Nothing really to see here, except this Overlord actually does have enough vision to probably see if something comes down to break those rocks. Taking a quicker look here, he's going for Thor army with a bio backup, couple siege tanks to get that range and do a little bit of that extra damage, and preparing finally for his 3rd expansion. He's been down a base, income tab being up 1,600 minerals to 1,200 minerals, 63 harvesters to 55. Zerg player in the lead, almost 10 harvesters ahead, and the biggest thing to note is his gas production. He's at about 700 gas versus 450 for our Terran player. Terran player down in the gas, and here we go. Banelings, tons and tons of Banelings. That's the problem with bio armies, is Banelings just blow you up. Banelings are the bane of a bio army. Couple more B words in the mix if I could think of one. The only one coming to mind is Bagel. Here we go, Bio Army coming out and scanning right on these creep tumors, taking away all the work that mTwDIMAGA did. But look, mTwDIMAGA's got his units in position. Looks like he's going to perform some kind of flight, but no. Realizing there's too many units, going to snipe that tank with those Mutalisks. And is he going to go up into the base? Oh, and the scan goes down right on these units. This is huge. He was just scanning to see creep tumors, I assume, but now he's scanned to see all those Banelings and Zerglings that were hiding behind this little bit of grass here. Now Terran is aware of that. Look at that. He's forced to back up, can't move out any further. Turret going up, and here we go. Mutalisk sniping off anything that's coming to reinforce. This is the problem with the Terran. As soon as he tries to get out of his base and extend a little bit further, suddenly there's Mutalisk operating in the back of his base. Look at this, forcing Marines, forcing his units back. Oh man, he's in quite the position right now. Yeah, the Mutalisks are out of the way, not be able to hit right now. Looks like he's got his units in 2 positions to set up for that flank. I don't think he's going to push right now just because it's going to be tough to get around this army without being stomped. You really want your Terran army to get more out here so you can get a nice surround. And look at these Mutalisks still in the mix. He's going to snipe this tech lab possibly. Not going to get the tech lab. Going to be finally cleaned up. And oh no, here we go. Zergling's going to come up trying to take this watchtower. They do not want that Terran to have all that vision to make those siege tanks even more potent. And if you'll note right now, as soon as this Marauder goes down, no more vision for the Terran player. He has to deal with the vision he has. He's aware of this because of this sensor tower, but much else other than that, I'm not sure what else he knows. Coming out, we have this Mutalisk coming down, taking a quick look at our bases, almost mined out here, just about mined out here, doing not quite saturated on this gold yet. Here we go. Zerglings now, I thought he was about to push out and finally take down our Terran player, because I assume we're actually bring up this army tab, 179 to 169. It's going to be very close. He actually is very wise not to try and take out this Terran player, because if he tries to take out this Terran player and this Terran player denies the push, he could easily walk across the field and do terrible damage to our Zerg player. And finally, throwing down this 4th expansion, getting ready and throwing down a scan, taking out these creep tumors. This 4th expansion is going to be huge because now he's almost double the base as our Terran player. Terran player just taking the gold now, not even mining from it yet. And here we go, try and move in. And he's going to have to back up. You see right here, there's this choke point. He does not want to get caught in that choke point. He wants to be in a nice wide open area. No, the Bailey's going in on nothing but Marauders. No, they back up. Oh, I thought this Bailey was going to just blow up on Marauders and be completely almost wasted. He's finally going to get this hatchery. It looks like there's nothing around to stop this hatchery. He's just waiting for the right time. He doesn't want to commit too early to attacking the Terran player. Bring up this production tab. He's got Ultralisk on the way because this is chitinous plating. Yes, chitinous plating is being started. Ultralisk in production. 4 Ultralisk on the way. He's got his units just waiting here. Bring up this army tab, 198 to 185. Both players almost max, but our Zerg player, mainly Zerg, is 133 Zerglings. So many Zerglings. I imagine that these Zerglings are probably going to be melted away, and he's going to replenish his forces with Ultralisk, but only time will tell. He is now now expanding to a 4th base down here. But again, see how fast our Terran player is to react to this. Right now, the Terran player going up. It looks like he's going to try and go for the gold. No, one Thor got out of position, gets sniped. He's going a little too far right now at the exact same time as this push is going on. There's a push going on down here. Try to follow both pushes. This push is almost dead, so we're going to follow one that's still happening. Ling's going in, Ultralisk going in. Looks like they're going to take out this Terran army. Terran army almost dead. Oh man, I think the Terran army is about to be cleaned up. Too many Zerglings, too many Ultralisks. If he can defend this, if he can throw up his wall and somehow bide his time, he might be able to come back in this game. Fill with that bunker. The wall goes up at desperation. Here we go. Ultralisk chopping away. Zerglings coming into the mix. Zerglings just taking everything down. The chainsaws on with wings on tiny little bodies. Here we go, chopping away. These Ultralisks already operating at 4-1 upgrades. These Ultralisks are just proving too much for this Terran. Terran player wisely has a siege tank blocking the ramp, but it's not going to be enough. Ultralisks getting up that ramp one at a time. Marines sniping away at those Ultralisks. No! The Ultralisks are stuck behind their own roaches. Marines coming in the back. The Ultralisks are finally going to get up that ramp. I think our Terran player is going to have to good game out, but only time will tell if he's able to mount some kind of comeback. Nom nom nom, got the Ultralisks enjoying a tasty SCV and tasty Marine meal. Fungal parasite on those Marines. Zerglings finally reinforcing. I think it's just about overload for our Terran player. As soon as this small amount of Marines are done, I think the Terran player is going to be done. Siege tank fighting valiantly. SCV is just standing here trying to slow down the push of the Zerg. Zerglings finally into the base. I feel like our Terran player is just in a terrible position. Game 1 goes to DIMAGA, getting ready for Game 2. I hope you all enjoyed. We'll look forward to Game 2.